Hello, welcome. Today we take a step back. Slowly, MTG was built to slow down the advance of sets. They are ever coming and they will never probably shut down. And I feel like it is a never-ending cycle of me just running behind the next set and never properly looking at the previous ones. I mean, we have an uncommon here on screen, and why are we not looking at it? Why are we not enjoying every small little bit that every little set or big set has to offer us? So, while after I've properly looked at Edge of Eternities, we're probably well in the territory of being hyped for a next upcoming set, I still want to cover it in a way that feels complete. So in a few years we might be a year behind in sets, and that is okay. That's actually the purpose of this series. So let's take things slowly. I hope your coffee is warm. Let's ironically begin with the Cav. Because the Cav, they really don't like thinking about going slow in any matter. They want to go and think about the now. They are the red creatures of the Edge of Eternities, the space set, who just think about what happens right now. And like we see in Cut Propulsion, we see that the Cav, while they might have a plan in battle, they always have an action that is unequal and opposite as an overreaction to whatever is done to them. So even when a little mechan might hurt their land just a little bit, they will properly destroy that mechan. And that puts us in the right frame of mind to think about the Cav. The Cav, their story is that they have drilled too deep. This card is actually perfect. The flavor says, the rapacious appetite that ended their world became the only means by which the Cav could lift their civilization from it. So they have drilled too deep. That is because they wanted what is in the earth. And they have depleted the resources, but they even depleted the structure of their planet. So now it is falling apart. And they still want more. But right now, the only thing that they can do to stay alive is make sure that they drill other asteroids and stop them from hitting their planet. And making it even less structurally valid. So what is happening right now on their planet is that many of their robots that they had to protect themselves or to carry resources to and from other places, they are now roaming and doing stuff that they were meant to do, but the Cav are actually running away because their planet isn't that sound anymore. Kavaron is now a memorial world, a world where, while there are robots, and we see this robot mechanic a lot around the Cav, where you create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token and then do something. It is the same thing that Kavaron does, because, well, robots are the only thing that are left on that world. There aren't many Cav actually there left. Most of them have left for other worlds. So Cav, well, it is their home world, was once a verdant and resource-rich terrestrial world, according to Wizards of the Coast. It's now a ruined husk decaying away into space, picked over by scavengers, wildcat miners, and then they say that they are an independent ship and crew not affiliated with a larger organization. They are trying to get all of the stuff that is in there. So what could be there? It's not just food, it is actual treasure. Things and memories and well, maybe art from a people that were living life to their fullest. So they made many cultural things actually. So the Cav, they aren't just dummies that want to fight other people. They used to be very culturally advanced actually, and that is what they are now trying to protect. We have Kav that was, but we also have Kav that is. So to them, Kav is now split. It is actually Kavaron before and Kavaron that is. So Kavaron before is a wedge of Kavaron that is the last stable terrestrial remains of the planet that the Kav managed to stabilize with a ring of massive tectonic anchors, so they had to drill deeper. Great pillars plunged dozens of kilometers into Kavaron's crust. Outside of this anchor wall, Kavaron crumbles away into space, trembling and heaving as its gravity tears the world apart. So yeah, there's not really a lot left, and what is left they try to keep and hold on to for dear life. For if they do not, much of Kav life will stop to exist. Outside the wall, Kavaron is even worse. It is a cataclysmic landscape called Kavaron that is. This land is less of a landscape and more of a churning gravitational storm of debris, ranging from micrometeorite clouds to continental chunks. Rumors swirl of memorial vaults, hardened self-contained storage facilities built in the earliest days of the catastrophe to store artifacts, treasures, monuments, and even culturally important locations that could not otherwise be brought to Kavaron before. So people tried to steal them. Not sure how they will actually do that because the Kav couldn't even transport them. So what is happening there right now? Well, a lot of robots is what we have said before. They scrounge Kavaron's wasteland unaware that their home can no longer support its purpose. And what do we also find? We find many Kav who are still trying to drill stuff apart. So yeah, they are not thinking about save right now. They are trying to save anything that they actually can. So yeah, they don't really care for their lives anymore, but they never did. We learned from Remnant Elemental that there were actually elementals from the Kav world, where the flavor says, even until Exodus Day, those in power on Kavaron refused to acknowledge that the planet was trying to tell them something. And apparently, I feel like the planet was trying to tell the Kav something through their elementals. And this one is an elemental of that which remains, which is actually very deep for the funny color. And we also learned that there were many extinct species on Kavaron. So while the Kavaron tiger has been extinct for centuries, its renowned ferocity endures. And so the cat robot was made to life. And I don't think there's actually a Kav inside this robot suit, because it would be a little bit too big for the suit. So someone else has learned from those tigers. We know that the Kav have a lot of culture, but they also have a lot of history, and they actually know a lot about how they evolved. So the Kav evolved on their bellies, and they describe the world by touch rather than sight. A Kav might say something like, feels good rather than looks good when they first see something. Kav footsteps always fall into sync. This is also shown in the story, when you really have to watch out while being around Kav, because if you are not in sync with them, with their footsteps, then you will probably be found out. So they maintain a constant rhythm while walking around. And also an interesting fact is that their reaction time is much faster than humans' reaction times. I think it's like almost 10 times as fast. So also something interesting is how they memorize things. So the Kav can actually remember stuff way better. So they feel like there's a long now, which is almost like they're listening to a song and remembering every piece of it so that the song becomes more beautiful. I, in fact, implore you to try. And that is how they live their whole lives. They are really in the now, and they know everything about the now. And the now is just, and anything that is not in the now is in the long now. And anything that is not in the long now, well, it doesn't really exist to them. So they they remember a lot of things of the right now. So let's say they remember 10 times as much of any moment, but anything before that they forget almost instantly. They also have what is called a gizzard, which uses silt to process food, and a poison taster sinus through which they can sift air to test its toxicity. So yeah, they are really about feeling stuff, and if they cannot feel stuff, they will immediately be very sad and probably dead. So that is also why I think this card is a little bit more metal, pain for all. The agony that consumed him also gave him clarity of purpose. So yeah, they like pain too, apparently, but mostly they can feel so much pain that if other people start to feel it, well, they probably don't have long mentally. In any case, the Kav are trying right now to find a new land, which we can see from Kav Landseeker, a common that can actually tell us a lot if we stop to look at it. So we see a lot about the Kav armor. It is beaten down, it has scratches, and that is impressive because if a Kav is wearing armor, that means that it must be even better or stronger than its own skin, and its own skin can stop a lot, like a meteorite from falling upon it might not even kill it if it doesn't destroy the earth around it. So we learned that, but we also learned that the Kav do seek to find new lands sometimes, but they aren't really that good at it. So what it says is, when this creature enters, create a lander token, and usually you would be able to keep that lander token around, so that you can then later sacrifice it for 2 mana to search your library for a basic land, basically showing us that they are trying to find new land, but they can only do so this turn, because at the beginning of the end step you have to sacrifice the lander token. So that means that you need to be quick if you are a Kav to find something else. That is also because they don't have much time. What we also learn is that the Kav, well, they are very resourceful in some ways. So they know a lot about mining, so if there's anything they can do with mining equipment, they will do it. And one thing you can do with the drill that you have stuck in your arm is beat people with it. So that they do. It can deal terrible damage to flesh, and they know that and they use it like it. But aside from that, they aren't really that strategic usually. Right now the Kav are trying to find a new home, and one of the homes that they really like is Evendo, or Evendu, I think it's Evendo. And they want to steal it from the Humidians being another people on the edge. This diplomatic relations card says, we will not yield until the Humidians relinquish our Kavaron tomorrow. So there are actually 3 Kavarons now. We have the Kavaron that was, the Kavaron that is, and the Kavaron tomorrow, which is really not Kavaron at all. It's a different planet, but well, the Kav need to find something else and call it Kavaron. Because otherwise, why would they be called Kav? So they are getting ready for war. They are looking for anything that can beat a Humidian, or that can beat their ships. So they are trying to find beam cutters and use their metals that they have a lot of to create new weapons. And they are getting into a sort of magic that is all about possibility. This, when you think about it, is really rad, because you need to look at what is here right now to find any possibilities. You need to be in this moment because this is where the possibilities are. So in desperate times, Kavaron's greatest minds strive to elevate their civilization. They only are starting to elevate their civilization really when they really need to. So in a way, the Kavaron need to have this pressure of their world falling apart in order to become better. In this way, when you only have a day left to live, you probably will find more possibilities than if you had a year left to live, for example. They also have learned to shoot things. Well, you would say that, but usually they aren't really shooting anything. They do have the means, they have a lot of weapons, they are great at building weapons. But usually what the Kav do is they build a lot of ships, and then they run their ships into another ship to make it explode. This of course isn't a good strategy for if you want your people to stay alive, but the Kav don't really care because the alternative is dying anyways. So yes, they are building a lot of weapons. They often look like drills, and that is because that is probably the only thing that they are really making. So they probably have a bunch of factories that only make drills, and that means that their ships can't really shoot often. So they usually just default to ramming their ships into other ships. They can sometimes make moxite, which is the metal that they often mined from their planet. They can make it into a weapon that can sort of shoot something, but usually it really doesn't. Only the most skilled matter shapers can imbue moxite with other raw energies, but the rewards are well worth the dangers, and apparently they can shoot stuff with it. If it is really concentrated. But usually the Kav return to using their guns as something to smash other people with. And that's fine. They are good at it, and why should they stop doing that? They can sometimes bombard other people. They did so, for example, with a Sunstar Free Company soldier. But only they do this when they really need to. So when they are getting close to stopping their operation, or when they are getting close to one of their memorial vaults. Their memorial vaults are really important. There are many rumors going around about these memorial vaults, so there are a lot of people trying to steal stuff from it. It is apparently a 20-kilometer wide hardened self-contained storage facility that there are multiple of, that hold many artifacts, monuments and culturally important locations, like I said before. The only problem is that these are really hard to get, and the Kav are trying to protect them with almost anyone they have. So it is a little bit weird that they are trying to keep memories, but it's also pretty logical. I mean, it is red, so you usually would think they are not the kind of people to like a museum or something, but they don't remember. So they need to have stuff to look at so that they know what they were about. That is probably why they defaulted into being just miners, all of them, because they didn't know anything else. They just knew that previous people were mining, so now they were mining as well. So eventually all of the Kav would always become the same thing. I mean, they were lucky that they weren't like marketing people who only knew marketing. That would not do anything for them. So at least it's mining, and they can sell their stuff that they mined to other people and have food that way. Anyways, they do know how to shoot stuff, but it is only done through having excess energy from the moxite core focused into a destructive ray of plasma. In this way, they can shoot moxite energy. But to do this, they need a lot, and they will probably shoot themselves. So yeah, not good. So usually they stop and also use their ships as ramming machines. The Kav aren't really good at landing either. So usually they break by ramming themselves into the earth. So they are a comet waiting to happen. So yeah, it is not fun to have Evendo being overrun by the Kav. They probably will not survive, and they will probably destroy that planet too, maybe even before they start to live there. They do have collision warnings on their ships, but they don't use them. They don't listen to them, at least. Because why would you? It's more fun to feel something, right? And in this way, they keep splicing bugs. But they have one weakness, which is their brain. It isn't too good. Kavaron's degradation poisoned many hearts, which the Monoists were happy to exploit. So yeah, the people of Kavaron were sad to see their world going, and with this the Monoists were able to make the Kav angry at each other. And they did, and now they are all trying to massacre each other. That is also something that is happening while their planet is falling apart. People and Kav aren't really logical. So yeah, I think they are very human-like in that way. Tanuk is a very famous one. I usually will not go into the main story too much, but Tanuk was a very important Cav because he was trained for years to be part of the Memorial Navy. That's the group of Cav that try to protect the Memorial Vaults. But while he was serving, he commanded the guns of Kavaron to fire at an asteroid that was heading for a very big city on Kavaron. And he did save 4 million Cav, but his choice led to the death of 25,000 other Cav in another village. And because of this, he did violate the Cav ethics. He should not have done anything if it would have hurt someone else. So even though he saved many people, in the end, he was still exiled from his world. Actually, they wanted to kill him, but he ran. And he did return later, but apparently he talked himself out of it because of the Endstone. But again, not going too deep into that. We see another cool weapon from the Cav, which is an axe with sort of energy beam running through it to be effective at all against all the metal. So what we see here is a memorial team and its leader on top of that. So they recover the treasures in Kavaron's memorial vaults by any means necessary. Even if they have to kill other Cav that are trying to protect it. They don't really care. These memorial vaults are very important to them because it shows them what they were about. If they would lose this, they would lose their sense of mining and they would have to stop mining, which is what they love to do. Even if it will destroy their next planet, they still want to mine. And if they cannot mine, they will think about today. A victory was the best retirement gift the Admiral could have asked for. And is it a victory if you slam your ship into an enemy ship? Well, depends on how you look at it. And that is just philosophy for you. And what is the Cav philosophy? It is to give everything and advance. So even if you have to discard your whole hand to draw 2 cards, that's still a win because you drew 2 cards. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching and I wish you a very nice day. Bye.